Xin chào các bạn đã đến với kênh Cuộc Sống với Vợ Mỹ. Mình là Khôi.
Và Mỹ là em nè. Xin chào, em là Kelly.
Đây là một bữa ăn sáng của bên Mỹ. Thì mình có bacon là giống như thịt heo ba chỉ mà mình chiên cho nó giòn luôn á. Cái thịt heo ba chỉ nên nó ướp với muối rồi cho nên ăn rất mặn, cho nên ăn hợp với lại mấy cái đồ mà cần muối. Mình có cái trứng ở bên đây nè các bạn. Thường thường mình để cái trứng trước lên cái bagel như vậy nè. Rồi cái mình nhiều.
So what should we do for dinner today, Khôi?
We haven't even finished breakfast yet.
I know. But we're here in the kitchen, we're thinking of it, right? Alright, so we actually downloaded another cookbook the other day.
Well, we have a few cookbooks in our iPad just to save some space.
Yeah. So Khói's looking through that right now. Sometimes we're really lazy to cook, you guys. I mean, I'm sure you guys have felt this before. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Chicken breast flavored. Crispy lemongrass salmon.
I think it's also a good one.
Honey glazed pork ribs. Beef stew with lemongrass. Bok kho.
Bok kho.
Yeah, we haven't made bok kho in a long time. Right? Let's see.
That sounds good, and it's kind of cloudy, overcasty today.
And it says it takes about an hour and a quarter
Oh, that's not too
to
long.
cook with the pressure cooker.
Oh, they have ingredient and recipe for the pressure cooker here?
Well, she said, but I discovered that a pressure cooker shortened the cooking time to just a good hour.
Wow.
And the traditional marinating period isn't needed. Suddenly, the Vietnamese classics become doable for a weeknight.
All right, so now it's time to check for the ingredients that we're not sure if we have them, and then go grocery shopping.
Yeah.
Let's
Take
do
our
it.
friends out to see the grocery shopping during COVID time.
That's right, let's do it. We are taking you guys to a grocery store that we've never taken you to before here in San Diego. It is called Vinh Hung. It's a Vietnamese supermarket, and we are going to get
Turn right into the parking lot.
we are going to get the rest of the ingredients for our bok kho. So I never noticed this before, but they actually have all the Vietnamese words on the signs.
So how do you say this?
Gừng tỏi,
Gần tôi.
gừng tỏi.
Trong thời gian bệnh dịch Covid, mặc dù mình đi chợ mình gặp những người khác, mình cũng cảm thấy cô lập chút xíu, tại vì mình rất là ngại và sợ khi tiếp xúc với những người khác. Không biết các bạn có nghĩ như vậy không?
As the COVID cases have been increasing in California, we've noticed that the stores are empty once again. In a way, it's nice because you feel less anxious about being out, but the downside is that there tends to be less fresh produce in stock. It's such a different experience to go shopping these days. It's much more quiet, people don't really interact, and the stores actually feel colder with less people walking around. To be honest, we're starting to miss the crowds. This time can feel a little lonely. Okay, so we're ready to start prepping our ingredients here. And we got everything that we needed, which is good. So first things I have to do is start peeling everything. You know, sometimes we're really lazy to cook. We do not feel like it, right, Koi? Like, we're just not in the mood because you have to do all of this prep work. You have to go to the store. You have to wash the dishes. You have to plan it. It's just, it can be a lot sometimes. And you just want to eat. You don't want to have to worry about anything else. However, regardless of how we feel, we still have to eat.
Yeah.
Right? So if we don't cook, then we're going to have to either get takeout or eat something processed, like maybe instant noodles or instant beef stew.
Các bạn, cái này là một thí dụ cho processed food. Cái này là bò kho ở trong cái bịch. Mình chỉ cần bỏ vô tô hâm nóng lên là ăn được. Here you go.
Luckily, though, we have an instant pot.
Speaking of instant. Oh yeah, let me go grab it.
This instant pot is awesome. It can actually cut our cooking time in half. So bak kwa can take what, like up to 4-5 hours to cook it.
Maybe 2-3 hours.
Oh, okay, okay. So this one's going to take, in the Instant Pot, it will take maybe an hour and a half. That's awesome. And you can just do everything in here. We'll show you guys. You can saute it. You don't have to, we mentioned earlier that you don't have to marinate the meat. You can just do everything and then you can just leave it in there and then
just throw it in a
everything.
pot and then let us do this thing.
Really nice, yeah. So the Vietnamese supermarket was out of lemongrass today. They didn't have any. So we had to go to another store. We went to an H Mart. Not the one that we normally take you guys to. We were closer to a different one, which also happens to be next to Meat Fresh. So that just worked out real nicely for us. But we picked up some lemongrass. And while we were there, Koi saw some cuts of meat that he really likes. So we're going to be doubling our recipe, and then there's a couple of changes we are going to make today. One of them is we're going to be using coconut water in replacement of the water in the recipe, because when you make things at home, the nice thing about doing it at home is that you have control over how much sugar, how much salt, how much extra seasoning you put inside. So we want to do a little bit less sugar and replace that sweetness with the coconut water. Tomatoes in the boiling water because you have to take the skin off, and this just makes it a little bit easier. So we're going to let them sit for a bit until the skin starts to peel away.
Bây giờ cái phần thịt này thì Khôi sẽ cắt cụm miếng. Cái đầu tiên là Khôi sẽ cắt cái gân. Tại Khôi thích ăn gân cho nên mua một miếng gân. Look at this fat. This will make it like
The flavor.
very tasty.
Right. Kelly gió bồn muốn nướng vào. Bà muốn nấu vị hương vào. Và Sáo muốn nước mắm. So after we mix all this seasoning up, we're going to let the beef marinate for about 15 to 20 minutes so it can really absorb all of those delicious flavors. And then we're going to heat up our pressure cooker on high heat and sear the beef in batches so that we can get that really nice brown color on the beef. What's nice about searing it in the Instant Pot and then making it in the Instant Pot is when you sear it, you get those extra flavors all over the pot, right, Koi?
That's right.
So you're going to add even you're not like wasting flavor for your broth, which is always.
I'm excited.
I am excited too.
Yeah.
We love this thing.
That's right.
Actually, we want to give a shout out to our friends Hui and Amanda. Thank you guys. They got us this as a wedding gift. We love it.
We're almost done with the batch.
We're
right
almost done.
All seared.
Yeah, just seared, not cooked through, just
Yeah.
seared. This is actually this is the first time we're making bak kwa with the pressure cooker. I really hope it turns out good,
Yeah.
right? If you guys have ever made bak kwa with a pressure cooker, you should comment below and let us know. How did your experience?
Yeah. And if you haven't pressed the like button, remember to press the like button. Help us out.
I'm getting like a steam beef facial right now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, put
I'm
your face
not.
over it.
No, I'm not.
46 minute stirring tomato,
Okay,
lemongrass. Ok, bây giờ mình bỏ vô và xả vô. Okay. And star anise and half a teaspoon of salt. Do you have half a teaspoon?
It's in the.
Half a teaspoon salt. Phân nửa muỗng muối yêu. Okay, and so right now I think we're just making a paste, right?
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
In the.
4 to 6 minutes.
My favorite part of the cooking process is always the sautéing of the onion and the garlic.
Because it smells so
the
good.
The smell
right?
is so good.
Yeah.
Like you don't even have to have made anything yet, and you could walk in the kitchen and be like, wow, what is that, you know?
Yeah. So do you remember eating bak kwa in Vietnam?
That's the thing, I don't, but I'm sure that I
I
have.
think you have for,
Yeah.
we eat it with the banh mi, it's so
I
good.
know.
Or like the noodle. We also bought the noodle. Khôi có mua hủ tiếu ăn với lại bò kho và giá. Tại vì mình có đủ bò kho để ăn trong nguyên tuần cho nên mình phải ăn nhiều cách.
I'm just gonna let it
Yeah.
for a second just sit there. Okay, so it kind of has that rough, wet paste look that they're talking about in the book, right? I guess. So we're gonna go ahead and add the beef back
Okay.
inside, and then we're going to need the coconut water on standby.
That's right.
Hopefully all of our beef fits in here. I'm getting a little bit nervous, but I have a feeling it's gonna just fit, just be the right size. Yes. Okay. Wow. So we doubled the recipe, so it's just more than you would normally have in here, and she uses a 6-quart pressure cooker in her recipe, so I was really concerned it may not fit, but it looks like we're in good shape here. So I'm mixing it up really well here to make sure that the meat can really absorb all of these delicious flavors inside, because the meat is really the star of this dish. So I want to make sure it's very flavorful, very tender, juicy, and flavorful.
Just perfect.
Just perfect.
Wow.
In the recipe, she said to just cover the beef with the water, but our pot has this max line. We don't want to go over because I'm just afraid it might overflow when it's pressure cooking. I think this is perfect. So we're gonna put the lid
Yeah, put the
on.
lid.
Locked. We are locked, sealed here.
Okay, so set it to 10 minutes. So let it cook for 10 minutes. It will have to get to, so the pressure has to reach its pressure, and then it will start the countdown for 10 minutes. Okay. And then after that, then we add in the vegetable.
Ah, okay, because we don't want them to get too
this.
soft. Oh, you wanted to add...
Yeah, the cinnamon.
Okay, opening back up.
Add the cinnamon. After it cooks for 10 minutes, it has to take time to depressure. Okay, so now it's on. So take time to depressure. So I think it saves time and it makes your meat more tender.
Ooh,
Right?
okay.
Okay, now I'm very hungry smelling this.
No, let's have a snack.
Cái khổ nhất mà nấu ăn đó là nấu ăn khi mà mình bị đói. Tại mình vừa đói mà vừa nấu ăn đó. Rất là khổ.
I know. Should we have a snack?
This is our lunch. Bữa ăn trưa. Cái máy pressure cooker này bây giờ nó đủ pressure rồi, cho nên bây giờ nó bắt đầu cái hiện cái số thời gian lên là 10 phút, mà bây giờ rồi còn mấy phút? 5 minutes?
6.
Oh, 6, còn 6 phút nữa.
Okay, now we're going to depressurize the Instant Pot. This will just move things a little bit faster. la la.
Okay, now we add the carrot.
Okay.
So the daikon is something that we add separately. This is not in the recipe, but it makes the broth a little bit sweeter. I like it. I just like it. And then the onion, I saved some because I remember in Vietnam when we eat bò kho, they always have the onion that's barely cooked, that's this big. So when you chew it, it has the crunch. You know, so like soft, and then you have the crunch of the onion.
You fancy,
Yeah.
huh?
So here, you want to put in the.
Okay. The carrots are my favorite part. I always want to add more.
Mix it.
Smells very good.
It's very cinnamon.
I have high hopes right now. So I've just added in the carrot and củ cải.
Củ cải, yeah. So we're supposed to cook with the lid off for another 30 minutes. For the cà rốt với củ cải cho nó chín.
Should we add the
Oh
hành?
yeah, add the hành.
Okay, so adding
Củ
the
hành.
củ hành.
Củ hành.
Củ hành.
Yeah. Wow. It smells so good.
Smells so good.
How do you say in Vietnamese?
Thơm quá.
Thơm quá. So in this, we have our tendons, gân, we
Gân.
have our meat, thịt bò,
Thịt bò.
we have cà rốt, we have củ hành,
Củ hành.
and we top it off with what's this called? Culantro
Culantro.
and
And some Thai basil.
okay, Thai basil. So Thai basil we did not buy. We got that from the garden. We grew it.
That's
So
right.
how is our garden doing?
Our garden's doing pretty well right now. Yeah, I think there's been a lot of sun and it's just flourishing. Actually,
Yeah.
there were even plants I thought were dead. They've come
Yeah.
back to life. So it's
Yeah.
great.
So it's nice, right?
Yeah.
Our green garden. Wow. I just
Yeah.
want to smell it.
I know. And oh, and I added some Thai
Wow.
chili in mine. Did you add Thai chili
I
in
did,
yours?
yeah.
Okay.
And I did some green onion as
Oh,
well
me
and,
too.
and cilantro.
Okay.
Okay, so the baguette. We're eating it with the baguette.
Yes, because on the first day of bò kho, we always like to eat it with baguette.
Yeah, because
Right.
you know we go to the store, mình đi chợ, sẵn đi chợ mua bánh mì mới ra lò luôn.
Yeah.
So where do we get this baguette, Kelly?
So we, after going grocery shopping, we searched it up and we found this place called Cali Baguette Express.
Yeah, it was pretty small.
Yeah, it's very
And,
small and they only let a few people in at a time.
Because of COVID.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had to wait at the door and then
Just for a
whoever
minute,
come
though.
out. Yeah, because there wasn't that many people.
there wasn't.
Well, we're talking about just to get the plain baguette.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you
that's
guys know
fine.
any good place of plain baguette that you like, let us know.
Yes.
Or you have a recipe, let us know.
I know, we really want to make it.
Yeah, but I want to dip it in
I know,
and
I
just
want to
taste
try
it.
it. I really want to try it.
Oh my
Let's
god.
see.
Wow. I closed my eyes and I was in Vietnam again. Wow.
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 I like it a lot.
And the banh mi is so crunchy
It's
too.
so crunchy.
Because you like re-toast it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna try the meat. The broth is so sweet. I'm glad that we used the coconut water
Yes.
instead of water.
I guess I didn't know that was a secret until you told me that today.
Yeah, I actually saw Khoa Lang Thang did it.
Oh.
Khoa Lang Thang. Yeah, I was watching his video. He was making bò kho, and then he was like, he used dừa bánh chè, coconut for bánh chè, and then I was like, oh, we should do that.
Yeah,
Make
I
it
think that's a
sweet.
good call. It's
Wow.
perfect.
So, are we gonna dip? What are we dipping in?
This is the
Muối tiêu chanh.
muối tiêu chanh.
Yeah, so we have muối tiêu, and then you squeeze the lime on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna dip the meat in. Take it out.
It's so tender. Right? It just falls apart in your mouth. I was really worried about this
We mix
because
everything together.
we didn't marinate it overnight. We just did it all in the pressure cooker. I was concerned it would still be a little bit too chewy. It's perfect.
So, success. We learned how to cook bò kho in a pressure cooker.
Yeah.
That was our first time. What would we do differently, Kelly?
So we already did add a little bit of salt to the recipe because
Okay.
right when we were kind of at the point where we were just waiting a little bit longer, we taste tested it and it needed a little bit of salt. So for the recipe itself, the salt, and then obviously we added the coconut water.
That's
so
right.
I would keep that.
It's like one of those food that when you cook, it makes your kitchen smell even better.
I know. It
Like I
smells
walked in, I
really
was
good.
like, oh my god.
I know.
Makes me hungry right away.
It does, but it's the
Yeah.
perfect amount in here. I think
Wow.
just all the other flavors maybe they balance out really well with the
Yeah.
cinnamon. So you can just like, I can taste,
Mm.
maybe what I would do, just because I like it, is add a little bit more lemongrass. Yeah, because I just really like the lemongrass flavor. And I feel like it's a little bit dull right now.
I think we doubled the recipe, but we didn't really double the lemongrass, did we?
I don't think so. That's true.
No.
That's true. Yeah, the flavor of the lemongrass right now is not really coming through. I think I would add a little bit more next time.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's pretty, like, it's really good.
So if you're watching this video, I hope that we inspire you to make bò kho, or if you're in Vietnam, to go out to eat bò kho.
That's right.
Or have you made bò kho before? Now try it to make it in the pressure cooker.
Yes.
It will make your meat tender really fast. And it cuts your cooking time a lot faster too.
Yeah, I think it took us a total of maybe 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is how we decide what to cook, what to eat.
Yeah, sometimes it's last minute, the day of.
Yep, but still works out,
That's
right?
right.
So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for sticking around. We know that you have tons of options when it comes to YouTube videos to watch, so we really appreciate you sticking around and hanging out with us.
Yeah. So rất cảm ơn các bạn đã ủng hộ vợ chồng mình. Hãy
Hãy
like
và đăng ký kênh cho em nè.
Xin chào.